What drives a young man to the edge of a cliff every single night? Scra sits alone under the starry sky, seeking refuge from a world that wants to stay hidden. But tonight, shadows emerge. Threatening figures with knives pierce his sanctuary. The one place he thought was safe has been compromised. A gloved hand grips a knife, red light illuminating frantic eyes. But the scene shifts. A winged figure with teal hair reflects on escape, while another character marvels at their elevated perch. The tension dissolves into wonder as they share the breathtaking view together. Under the night sky, two young men converse about the sweltering summer heat. The blonde one suggests the coast might offer relief, while his dark-haired companion seeks tranquility in higher ground. Their casual exchange reveals a routine meeting, with plans to continue tomorrow. Night after night, this routine continued. The muscular winged figure announces his acceptance to the prestigious Roost Academy with a full scholarship. Military life doesn't appeal to him, but opportunity calls. When he suggests a flight, his companion hesitates. Some barriers can't be crossed so easily. Questions about flying abilities surface as the blonde teases about weight and capability. The atmosphere shifts from curiosity to playful challenge. But when the offer becomes real, panic sets in. Not everyone is ready to leave the ground behind. Trust becomes the question. The teal-haired character refuses with a firm, "Hell no." But the blonde persists, believing everyone deserves to fly under the stars. Despite the skepticism, they launch into the night sky. Wind rushes past as exhilaration replaces fear. Soaring above the illuminated city, philosophy meets reality. The blue-haired character speaks of freedom to fly under stars, while his companion's cynicism reveals deeper truths. Looking away from the city's lights, they discover something worth seeing in the opposite direction. The winged instructor encourages stretching wings wide. Suddenly, excitement erupts as land comes into view. The request becomes urgent. Drop him at the cliff's edge now. Against a vibrant sunset, they glide in perfect harmony, trust finally established between them. Relief washes over them as they land safely. Arms cramp from the flight, they share a moment of gratitude. Farewells are exchanged with promises to meet tomorrow. A bond has formed in the sky, but uncertainty lingers in their words. But in the shadowy alley below, doubt creeps in. The winged figure contemplates what he's witnessed, expressing inner conflict. Groups gather in the background as tension builds. The realization hits hard. He would never return to that cliff again. Urgent beeping pierces the night. Morning shatters the peaceful night with persistent beeping. The blue-haired young man awakens groggily in his bright bedroom, phone displaying a 7 a.m. reminder. Stretching toward the bedside table, frustration replaces sleep as reality demands his attention. Across town, the blonde-winged figure sleeps peacefully, wings draped over his bed. A photo shows happier times with a young girl on his back. Waking and dressing, he greets his companion cheerfully. Today's the day. Move into the roost begins. Determination fills Scra's reflection as he declares, one step closer. The sound of zipping bags and clicking locks punctuates preparation. A soldier greets him warmly, acknowledging his departure. Gratitude flows as he thanks the wing commander for past accommodations. In the bright dormitory, encouragement mingles with doubt. The dark-haired figure shares wisdom about the best years spent at the roost. But concern shadows optimism. Will the Osprey kid survive? His kind doesn't fare well away from the sea. Standing atop a high-rise rooftop, massive wings unfurl as Kai reflects on his winding journey. The sprawling cityscape stretches below as he declares this moment. The next chapter of his life begins now. Leaping into freedom, he realizes the journey took longer than expected. Outside the massive Roost Academy, Kai stands overwhelmed against the mountain backdrop. Trying to calm his nerves, he realizes he's way out of his depth. Confusion sets in. Where is he supposed to go? A helpful girl with auburn hair appears, pointing the way. At the information booth, Ree welcomes the nervous transfer student with professional warmth. She confirms his name, Kai Sidok, and hands him his room assignment with a map. As his flock leader, she explains breakfast times and uniform requirements. Satisfaction fills the air as characters reflect on successful introductions. Playful banter emerges about new admissions being lenient. An osprey has been spotted, and opinions vary about the Academy's changing standards. Camaraderie builds through teasing exchanges. Urgent conversations about maintaining discretion surface as characters discuss the new student. They must be careful about their other activities while keeping up appearances. The mention of Professor who suddenly jogs someone's memory. They have somewhere important to be. Inside the bright Academy corridors, Kai expresses optimism about finding entertainment despite his nervousness. Reading his room assignment, he discovers his roommate is Screw Elwade in room 410. Approaching the door with hopeful anticipation, he calls out a greeting. But who awaits inside? Recognition sparks explosive surprise as Kai encounters Ri again. He excitedly claims she's the girl from the cliff, but she dismisses his assertion completely. Despite his enthusiasm, she maintains professional distance, insisting she has somewhere important to be. In the dimly lit room, confusion reigns. The mysterious figure who stood him up 2 weeks ago is now his roommate. Scra sits with clipped wings, distant and troubled. The roommate sheet confirms his name, though proper introductions never happened. Frustration builds with another phone alert. Nostalgic reflection fills the air as Kai addresses his absent roommate. They met every night on that cliff throughout summer, yet never exchanged names. The irony isn't lost on him. His wings spread as he declares his true purpose. Friendship isn't why he's here. The mess hall stands surprisingly empty for such a prestigious academy. Kai expresses disappointment at the sparse gathering, having expected crowds. Ri greets him warmly as an anthropomorphic fox character celebrates successful navigation. Food trays in hand, they acknowledge the challenge ahead. Conversation flows between Kai and Ri about second-year transfers and academic challenges. She playfully boasts about being at the top, while he expresses relief at knowing someone. But when roommates are mentioned, Kai visibly shivers. Ri's attention shifts, surprise flickers in her eyes. Contemplation turns to shock as recognition dawns. The mysterious roommate question gets answered when a winged figure appears. Disbelief fills the air. A crow has been allowed into this prestigious space. Casual farewells mask the underlying tension of this revelation. In the Academy's bright cafeteria, Screw appears reflective while students chatter around them. An auburn-haired girl approaches with vulnerability, apologizing for her earlier emotional outburst about crows. His response carries frustration masked as acceptance. It's a free country. Casual conversation flows about city life and transfer origins. Kai admits the heat bothers him, revealing his coastal colony institute background. Interest sparks at mention of Oceanside, while golden eyes observe intently. A teacher's voice cuts through chatter, calling for attention. Professor who welcomes students back for History 201, beginning semester coverage of the war. But interruption strikes. Mr. Eldwold receives 2 demerits in an after-class meeting. Tension builds in the academic setting as discipline meets defiance. Realization dawns about the semester's uncomfortable focus. The Crow War will be studied with an actual crow present in class. Attention demands are made as textbooks reveal Chapter 1, the culling of the corvids. Academic urgency builds with homework deadlines. Hallway conversations turn to flight class preparations as students rush to change uniforms. Through glass walls, high-tech training equipment sparkles ominously. Major Fishgull appears with commanding presence, introducing himself as their flight training instructor with a warning about nightmares. In the training facility, flight dynamics testing begins. Skills developed over summer will be assessed through mobility and stealth drills. The stakes are high. Failure means joining the custodial department. Vermilio's is called first to demonstrate proper technique. Spectacular aerial display unfolds as tapered wings allow high-speed maneuvering. Her flexible body navigates the futuristic course with incredible grace. Watching in awe, another student admits she's on a completely different level. The stopwatch confirms excellence. 11.34 seconds. Praise flows for the outstanding performance as students return to formation. But self-doubt creeps in. Compared to her excellence, others feel inadequate. Eldwood's absence becomes apparent, earning him 10 demerits for skipping the first day. Where's Scra? Anticipation builds as silhouettes prepare for action. Brackendale receives his call to perform, responding with military precision. Playful banter emerges. Advice not to die, mixed with confident boasting about showing everyone proper technique. Competition fuels determination. Time announcements punctuate training as 24.54 seconds disappoints expectations. Size becomes a factor in flight performance struggles. But distraction arrives. Majestic eagles soar outside, inspiring awe and wonder. The next contestant prepares, determination replacing doubt. Nervous energy fills preparation time as jokes about burn cream mask anxiety. First-time flight experiences create genuine fear, especially with unfamiliar magnetic flight boots. The plea echoes through determination. Please don't let me make a fool of myself. Strategic analysis guides flight planning as previous attempts reveal pattern difficulties with narrow gaps. Diving becomes the chosen approach, the only skill he truly trusts. From the top, preparation meets specialization in this high-tech environment.
Impressive results emerge as the timer stops at 16.32 seconds. Speed and determination pay off as girls express surprise at the achievement. Military-style observers discuss the performance while competitive atmosphere builds. Confidence replaces previous doubt.
Success story continues as the Little Osprey proves flight capability. But celebration shifts to confrontation as a group approaches with menacing intent. Tension builds in the outdoor training area as territorial challenges emerge. What do these newcomers want? Confrontation intensifies as students corner Scra about skipping class. Accusations of ungratefulness emerge, invoking family connections and institutional generosity. Indifference meets escalating frustration as power dynamics become clear. Breck's anger reaches a breaking point with explosive force. Warning bells ring as time pressures mount for trigonometry class. But intimidation tactics escalate as the muscular figure brandishes a knife, pressing it against Scra's neck. Lucky lackeys and listening problems become threats in this rocky confrontation. Power hierarchy becomes crystal clear as family connections and directorial authority are weaponized. The knife gleams with menace as position and privilege create dangerous dynamics. But beneath threats lies something else, boredom seeking entertainment through intimidation. Military authority observes from shadows as success sounds echo through the facility. Gratitude flows for amazing performance, while friendly teasing about obliterating rivals brings lightness. But concern surfaces about regulations and those distinctive red feathers. City exploration brings nervous excitement about first impressions and avoiding embarrassment. Country origins become playful ammunition, while motorcycle appreciation reveals different transportation preferences in a flying world. Lunch deadlines create urgency amid discovery. Casual farewells outside room 402 turns shocking as Scra is discovered injured and shirtless, blood-stained bandage visible on his arm. Kai's cheerful announcement of living there meets startled surprise. The atmosphere shifts from normal to deeply concerning in an instant. Questions about class absence reveal flight limitations and observational alternatives. Fischel's instructions were ignored through simple choice. Authority meets defiance as movement commands are given. The confrontation builds to explosive tension with slamming sounds and verbal outbursts. In the shower's solitude, Kai reflects on dramatic changes in someone he once knew. Water cascades over injuries and contemplation as uncertainty about future meetings echoes repeatedly. The emotional weight of transformation becomes clear through introspective silence. Cafe gossip flows as friends discuss mysterious roommate encounters. Bloodstained shirts and skipped classes fuel speculation about fights or worse. Humor masks genuine concern as theories range from sketchy behavior to potential violence. The truth remains elusive. Privacy frustrations mount as academy life proves suffocating. Observations about classroom dynamics and roommate availability create potential refuge opportunities. But the day's challenges take their toll as exhaustion and stress culminate in shared frustration. Will tomorrow bring relief or deeper mysteries? What can go wrong when you're back to the grind? In biology class, the instructor's lesson on viral transmission hits a little too close to home. While students joke about contamination and bloodborne diseases, one orange-haired girl can't hide her discomfort about catching something from a certain crow. The whispered concerns aren't just academic anymore. The instructor's sharp reminder cuts through nervous laughter. No evidence suggests any avian species spreads disease more than others, she insists. But her pointed comment about students who spend summers sampling the flock draws knowing looks. The blonde student realizes her whispered concerns were heard by everyone. Back in the cafe, friendly banter flows freely again. The orange-haired girl laughs as someone gets verbally destroyed, while relief washes over faces when missing items are found. Maps to the common room aren't needed after all. Sometimes the simplest victories feel the sweetest. Fashion critique turns personal when casual clothes come under scrutiny. The blonde girl questions whether a sleeveless top befits the year's top student, instantly regretting her words. Hand-me-downs from brothers versus sweater vest expectations clash awkwardly. Apologies flow, but damage lingers in defensive stammers. Homework piles higher than expectations. The orange-haired girl groans dramatically, surrounded by textbooks that mock her efforts to unwind. Country college was never this competitive, the blonde boy recalls. But beginner's luck only carries you so far when midterms haven't even arrived yet. Career paths reveal shared ambitions and subtle surprises. No seaport guard training here means officers transfer from the academy itself. Both students admit they're specializing in covert ops, though one questions whether the other fits the traditional mold. Reassurance comes with friendly touches and supportive words. Friendship remains elusive despite best efforts. Dyed feathers become a symbol of helplessness, unchangeable markers of difference. Then a curly-haired student approaches with serious intent, requesting a private chat. The mention of eagles shifts the entire atmosphere from casual to charged with significance. Captain Reamer introduces himself with practice confidence. The aerial combat team notice Kai's flying skills and wants him badly. Despite never playing before, Kai's natural talent impresses the champions. An invitation to watch practice at 2,100 hours could change everything. But will he bring his friend along? Disbelief ripples through the classroom as everyone stares. The AC team are literal celebrities, 7-time champions who know their worth. Famous but insufferable, they consider themselves hot shit because they actually are. Should he think about joining their elite ranks or stay grounded? Even reluctant students can't turn down celebrity invitations. 20 minutes to change, and meet outside becomes the new plan. Homework waits as excitement builds. But when he looked for his roommate, the empty room speaks volumes. Of course, Scra is not here when you actually want him around. Why dig through someone's dirty laundry anyway? If Scra's injured, that's his business to handle. The frustration builds as Kai realizes he needs to forget about his missing roommate. Because clearly, Scra has forgotten about him. Time to move forward and watch some eagles soar. Under starlight, aerial mastery unfolds on the rooftop. Reamer cheers as a girl with wings demonstrates incredible agility above them. Kai struggles to keep up with both the conversation and the display of skill. Too slow, she taunts playfully, leaving him wondering what he's gotten himself into. The night sky beckons as they launch into flight together. Uncertainty mingles with determination as they arrive at the gathering. This feels like trouble brewing, but it's an official club after all. Weapons wait on racks while newcomers receive their welcome. The stakes just got real. Form-fitting suits and weapon selection mark the beginning of something serious. Playful jokes about riding suits can't mask the gravity of what's coming. The group huddles for briefing as potential recruits face their first real test. Choose your weapon wisely. This isn't practice anymore. Fight! The command echoes as chaos erupts instantly. Panic spreads across faces as weapons clash with sudden violence. Get to the ship! Comes the urgent cry as teammates scramble for safety. Neon lights illuminate the struggle, while sound effects punctuate every desperate movement. This initiation just became survival. Reamer's confident voice cuts through the chaos. Initiation, rookie. Let's see how good those flying skills really are under pressure. Kai gets hit by a beam, crying out in pain and confusion. Where's his weapon? Why is he defenseless? Kestrel, he shouts, wings extended in desperate flight. The cry pierces the night as recognition sparks between friends. Excitement replaces fear as two figures soar through moonlit clouds together. Their sleek outfits catch starlight while they navigate the celestial battlefield above. Sometimes finding an ally changes everything in an instant. Danger strikes from above as glowing yellow eyes emerge from shadow. The dark-skinned man in his tactical suit shouts warnings while protecting his teammate. Energy swirls violently around them as aerial threats multiply. Are you okay? Becomes the desperate question when survival hangs by a thread. Close-range shots leave marks that matter. In the aftermath of violence, concern outweighs bravado as teammates check each other's wounds. Just a scrape, she insists, downplaying injury. Green and purple lights illuminate their conversation about weapons and inexperience. Camaraderie blooms despite the chaos around them. Laughter echoes about the earlier screaming as teammates bond over shared trauma. Reamer chuckles while a friendly hand offers comfort to the shaken rookie. But beneath the humor lies awkward tension as Kai reflects on his struggles. Getting late becomes the perfect excuse to escape. Approval flows freely as past performance earns future invitations. You almost got me with those pistols, Reamer admits, extending the offer to Ree as well. But hesitation creeps in as apologies follow excitement. The group plans off-campus gatherings while camaraderie strengthens under starlit skies. Sharp words cut through confusion as the truth emerges. You're the reason I was even invited in the first place. Kai's lack of weapon training makes him valuable somehow. The human connection draws unwanted attention from powerful teams. Why would they want him specifically? The questions multiply faster than answers. Party or get together. The distinction matters more than expected as panic spreads across faces. I thought it was just a get-together, echoes through the dimly lit room. Frustration mounts as the true nature of their invitation becomes clear. This feels like a trap, but the choice remains his. 1:32 glows from the clock as restless thoughts consume the late hours. Reamer lies contemplative while a dark figure grips a glowing red sword nearby. That bastard's done nothing but screw me over, she reflects bitterly. Yet her loyalty remains inexplicably intact. Why does she keep defending him? Ornate architecture and purple lighting create an atmosphere of decadent anticipation. The pink-haired woman with feathered wings lounges seductively at the bar, her revealing attire catching ambient light. Sora, darling, don't keep me waiting too long, she purrs. His apprehensive glance suggests the night holds dangerous promises. Red-tinged shadows create intimate conversations where secrets flow like wine. The curly-haired woman teases while her flamboyant companion shares tales of clientele and their juicy little sins. Everyone's dying to share their secrets, she claims. But when certain powerful figures lurk nearby, discretion becomes survival. Dark teal eyes narrow with disappointment at missing the party invitation.
The bearded man with feathered wings questions their recruitment tactics while frustration builds. We'll have to rectify that with future recruits, comes the measured response. But cutting into leisure time demands better explanations than disappointment. Shadow-heavy conversations reveal deadly affiliations. The Buckhills? The Thornisps? Names carry weight in this murky world of blades and murder. I join the blades of murder, he admits, sealing his fate. Before I kill you, then, comes the chilling response. Some conversations end in blood. Enthusiastic words about management success flow in lacy elegance. See you later. Han provides a gentle farewell while pink hair catches ambient light. But darker thoughts follow as hooded figures contemplate watching that boy more carefully. Foreboding seeps through casual conversation like poison through silk. Industrial shadows hide familiar reunions as green-haired confidence meets hooded secrecy. Hey, buddy. It's been a while, breaks the tension with casual warmth. But questions about bands and dirty work hint at darker purposes. When murder organizations recruit your services, friendship becomes complicated. Dark teal eyes hope for bloodless days while spiky green hair reminisces about first kills. The hardest, he claims, though his casual tone suggests otherwise. Magpie visits brought death counts. 12 victims including sparrows and a finch. Numbers make murder feel mechanical, but hope still fights against inevitability. Adrenaline-fueled confessions reveal forbidden words. The croaking slips from hyped-up lips while concern spreads across dark-haired features. Casual promises about future visits and knives left by sources can't mask the weight of that single phrase. Some secrets change everything once spoken aloud. Green spikes frame a knowing smirk as the croaking echoes through nighttime shadows. Intense dark eyes contemplate strategic implications while architectural details catch subtle illumination. Then guilty surprise breaks the moment. Whoops! Sorry, Crow. The apology hangs heavy with unintended significance. Industrial cracks hide curious conversations as drop projects and early morning mysteries fuel speculation. The blonde boy relaxes while feathered wings ponder someone's suspicious schedule. But tousled hair observes from doorways, and hooded figures grip knives in darkness. Dawn brings danger to those who venture below. Alert senses catch danger as dark teal eyes turn sharply. Wide green spikes registering sudden alarm. A small creature sleeps peacefully against light hair, innocent of the peril surrounding them. But as sunset paints rocky landscapes in warm colors, the horizon offers hope, or perhaps the perfect cover for approaching shadows.